Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So, today I'll be sharing with you. So many of you have asked me about emotional intelligence one on one and understanding the power of emotional intelligence or EQ, emotional quotient. So, let me introduce to you first that researchers Salovey and Mayer in 1990 and later I think popularized by psychologist Daniel Goleman, emotional intelligence has emerged as a critical factor in personal and professional success. Research indicates that EQ now accounts for approximately 70% of the success factors compared to just 30% to traditional IQ, which is intelligence quotient. So, the significance of emotional intelligence is reflected in the workplace, performances as a just a normal person, and in any kind of profession, I would say, where the studies have shown that 90% of the top performers possesses high level of emotional intelligence. This power skill is directly impacts the leadership, effectiveness, team dynamics, personal mental health, and well-being in both and professional context, right? So, what is emotional intelligence? You could ask me. It is nothing but it is self awareness, which we know recognizing your own emotions and how they affect your thoughts and behavior, understanding your strengths, your weaknesses, and having self confidence. What is self management? Self management is the controlling impulsive feelings and behaviors, managing your emotions in healthy ways, adapting to changing circumstances, and taking initiative. Then comes to the social awareness, understanding the emotions, needs, and concerns of other people as well, picking upon the emotional cues and feeling comfortable socially. The relationship management, developing and maintaining a good relationships, communicating very clearly, inspiring, influencing others, and working as well as in the team if required. So emotional intelligence has this four pillars like what we talked about, which is a self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management, right? So now you could ask me, what is the science behind this emotional quotient or emotional intelligence? So, neural integration, which is also emotional quotient, of optimal connection between emotional and rational part of the brains. The next one is neuroplasticity, where the brain structure changes and adapts to the EQ practice. And then comes to the limbic processing, which is the emotions are processed before rational into really thoughts, right? So the neurological basis of emotional intelligence lies in the interaction between the amygdala and which is an emotional center and the prefrontal cortex, which is the rational thinking. When they experience something, emotional processing happens in the limbic system before the information reaches to our rational brain, explaining why the emotions can be so instantaneous. Brain studies reveal that neural plasticity of our brain, ability to form new connections, enables EQ improvement at any age. Research consistently shows that the high performers score significantly higher EQ with specific EQ training producing measurable changes in the brain activity patterns and emotional regulation pathways. So now you could ask me, what is this self awareness? We'll try to understand. So, recognizing your own emotions is such a critical part of being emotionally intelligent. Then adjusting your emotions, which is modify responses based on the awareness, then understanding, analyze the triggers and the patterns your emotions are showing. And the last one is the reflect, the journal insight and observations. So I highly recommend people to basically start writing journal if they really want to work with your own emotions, because that's the only way where you can record them and then you can analyze them and then accordingly understand them, adjust them to the needs. Okay. Managing emotions effectively is usually our three ways you could do it, right? So you take a pause of 6 seconds whenever you're trying to reply or respond to a situation. Create a space between a trigger and the response. Reframe, consider alternative practices or perspectives. Try to see if this situation, what you have seen, could be also have a different perspective. And then last one is choose, select the appropriate response. So most likely you would always try, if you start using the 6 second rule, that would really help you to regulate your emotions, which has been triggered by a outside or external factor. Excuse me. So emotional regulation is the ability to manage feelings appropriately, represent the critical component of the emotional intelligence. Social awareness is very simple, where you are effectively communicating with other people. Sometimes it could be non-verbal, which we just see somebody's just walks in the room and everything, the whole energy of the room changes. Active listening is something when you're fully focusing on someone's else responses to what is going on. And then perspective taking is something deliberately considering the situations from others' viewpoints and improves the relationship quality by 55%. What is emotional building? So building emotionally intelligent relationships, you have to have a very clear communication. Number one, it has to be very clear and very precise as well. Number two is constructive feedbacks, where you can give each other a very constructive feedback without going into the details and without basically crossing the boundaries. Then last one is the collective intelligence, where you can talk to people in very intelligent manner, where they understand what you're trying to say. So what are the next steps? Usually people ask me, how much longer does it take when you are looking at to become an emotionally intelligent person? So daily practice is one of the major things which you have to do once you start working with a coach or like myself. That practices would lead you to establish a baseline for your self-assessment, which is extremely important and critical. Integration, ongoing, whatever the skills you're applying on the daily basis, and increasingly complex situations when they arise. The research has shown that 25% of improvement possible within 2 to 3 months of consistent practice. And then usually by the end of 2 to 3 months or maximum 6 months, the focus on the specific EQ domains through structured exercises, seek feedback from the trusted sources to increase your accuracy. So developing emotional intelligence requires intentional practice through micro habits specific to the EQ domain. Creating a 90-day development plan with the progressive challenges builds a neural pathways which strengthen the emotional recognition and the regulation. All right. Resources such as emotional vocabulary lists, reflection exercises, and assessment tools provided structure for this journey. So you really need to work with some emotional intelligent coach which can guide you and navigate with you through your journey, where you have to do very critical exercises which are custom made for you when you're working and if you want to become more emotional intelligent. So it approximates takes from anywhere from 3 months to 6 months. So I hope I was able to explain it to you all in a nutshell what emotional intelligence is and what are the pillars we talk about and how you can also become an emotional intelligent person, but that needs to be done under a supervised professional so that you are able to achieve your success in it more, I would say, quickly and with a lot of gratification. So thank you for watching me today, and I'll be back again with another topic next week. And in the meantime, you all have a wonderful day.